Mandy, thank you for visiting with me. I wanted to visit with you and talk to you about staging and how that helps a seller sell their home. But tell me first a little bit about what got you doing staging.
Sure, it's my pleasure. I have been a realtor for the past 10 years
Okay,
and found that my passion was in home decorating and seeing how homes were put together and what made buyers passionate about that home, what made that home stand out apart from other properties. And it all came down to small techniques that the sellers used in order to make their home present itself properly to the buyer.
so it really can be something small. It doesn't have to be like going crazy and buying all new furniture.
It's not dropping 10 grand on the latest Ethan Allen or IKEA products or putting granite and going for the high-end fixes and finishes. Although those things sell a home and they're very nice and appealing, there are small touches you can do to the property that make a big difference in the buyer's eyes.
Great. So how long have you been like specializing in staging?
I have been certified with HSR, which is an accredited home staging certification program, for the last year. But my passion and studies have extended probably for the last 10 years in my pursuit of my real estate career.
Okay, great. So you were staging your own homes on your own listings?
I was. All of my listings, I walked through them and naturally did the staging process with them, even though I wasn't certified in promoting myself as a home stager. It was something I did naturally with my sellers.
Awesome, because that's something that I personally am not good at. I know I don't have taste. My wife buys my clothes. She decorates our house. I'm really good at other things like finding the right price and taking the right marketing approach. And I would prefer to refer a professional who has a love of it to advise my clients rather than give them my probably bad advice.
And that's kind of where Ready for Display was born. We started because we knew there was that gap. Realtors are specialists in pricing, in marketing, and knowing how to get that sale produced. My specialty is that I know how to properly produce that package in the home to make it appealing. We've born this business out of necessity.
Well, it's interesting. When I took my marketing credits in college, I learned that marketing isn't just advertising. Marketing is price, distribution, packaging. And so when it comes to homes, staging is the packaging. Would you agree with that?
I agree. Think of it like this. When you go clothes shopping, and I know that men probably just go in and pick out their jeans and the shirt and hope that it matches. But what appeals to the masses in shopping is those items that are properly displayed on the end caps, that they look appealing. It's a package put together. It's merchandising. And that's what staging is. It's merchandising the home to make it look appealing, to make that buyer want to purchase the property.
Great. Now, staging a home will not necessarily sell an overpriced home. Would you agree with that?
I would completely agree with that. You can make the home fantastic, but if pricing is not right, it's going to sit there just looking beautiful.
But it does put it among similar priced homes. It gives it an advantage.
That's right. The statistics show that 9 out of 10 buyers cannot visualize. So it's a matter of a few things. The first being price. Price. You have to have the price correct in order to sell the home.
So you can get them to come look at it.
Exactly. Location is the second one you cannot change. But you can change how the property is merchandised. And so those three things together will make the home its most presentable, most sellable, and get the best price.
Okay. So give me an idea of what's like a step-by-step process when you visit with a client for the first time.
So if I'm doing a staging in a home that is occupied, I first want to meet with the client. I want to do a little research prior to meeting with them to know what their area is like, what the buyer demographic is. Because again, this is appealing to the buyers that are most likely going to buy in that area. So if it's a retirement community, there's no need to make the home merchandised to a starter family. It doesn't make sense. That's not who the home is for. So I'm going to do a little background prior to even meeting with the client. And then I'm going to find out what the client's needs are. I don't want to stage a home so that they can't live in it while they're still there trying to sell it. And then I'm going to look at the key features of the home and highlight and emphasize those features. And then if there are features that are less attractive, that a buyer would find less appealing, there are ways that I can de-emphasize those features in order to play up and emphasize the good features that are selling the home.
I had a listing, and it was before I met you, where we had, I walked in and the kitchen had this horrible 1969 aluminum foil and pink and orange wallpaper in the kitchen. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to sell this? And I called a stager, and it was a consultant. She didn't do furniture. She just did like color coordination.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was done with that kitchen, you didn't even know that there was wallpaper on the wall. And that's where I got great respect for people who have a decorator or a decor taste and passion, because to me it was, I walked in, it was ugly, and I came back and it was beautiful. And the only thing she really did is add some, knickknacks here and there. We didn't tear down the wallpaper, which would have cost, probably $2,000.
Right. The costs are far less to just use some simple design and decorating techniques versus going through a complete remodel.
Awesome. So talk a little bit about what your how your company is structured. What are the options that sellers have when they work with you versus what other choices are in the marketplace?
Sure. Ready for Display is unique in that we offer consultations where I would simply come in and work with the sellers and give them my opinion of things that they can do on their own in order to properly produce a nice package deal,
Okay.
making the home look gorgeous and making it worth its
So
money.
for the most part, using their own furniture and
Using
fixtures.
their own. I then will recommend further key decorating elements that they could purchase or I could purchase for them. I offer a shopping service for those who
Okay.
just simply do not have time. I can go from the do-it-yourself package where I simply give my advice, my professional advice, all the way to full service where they don't lift a finger. They simply entrust me to get the job done for them. I also offer vacant staging where I would come into a home that is unoccupied, completely vacant of all furnishings, and I can make that home look lived in and give it the warm feeling that people want when they walk in the door to make it call their home.
One of the hardest things to sell is a completely vacant home with plain walls and no furniture, because the rooms actually look smaller when there's no furniture in them.
That's very correct. You'd think that a vacant house would actually show larger, but without furnishings, there's no sense of space,
Right,
and
no
buyers cannot visualize.
perspective.
Exactly. Again, it's that 90% visualization. Those 90% of people can't visualize. Only 10% of buyers have the ability to see a room for what it is without any furnishings in it. So it is very important to stage a vacant home to get it sold quickly, especially in our distressed market.
And with the color, talk about colors, because I've had sellers who've called me, well, I'm all done, I'm ready to list, and I just painted the house. Great, what color did you paint it? Well, we painted all the walls white. Oh no. So talk about colors. What are good colors?
Well, we can work with, if a home seller is living there, we want it to coordinate with their furnishings. And so we offer a color consultation service
Okay.
in which we can go in and choose neutral colors that are appealing to the buyer's eyes. But white walls, again, wash everything out and you lose your perspective of the home.
And they photograph horribly.
They do. There's no depth or dimension, and we want to add life and character. This is a home. This is where you live. So color does add those things. Again, we don't want to go with a bold color that would only appeal to certain people,
Right.
but we want to make sure that it's got some life and warmth to it. And we can work with some bold colors that buyers have, although some colors, perhaps like a child's room, may be a little too bold for the
Right.
masses. And so we can work on getting some colors that are more neutral and appealing to the masses.
Perfect. So if someone wanted to use your services, realtor or even just somebody, because you wouldn't have to necessarily be selling your house to consult with you about decorating ideas.
That's exactly right. And the most exciting part of my business that I'm happy to sit here and share with you and to those watching is that we not only offer decorating services to home sellers, but we are a full home maintenance company as well. So we offer anything from window cleaning and pressure washing, exterior maintenance, to painting, possible landscaping. We can do decorating services for buyers. If you've bought a house and you still don't have that visualization, I am very excited to help you make that place your home, working with your personality and your taste to make it that.
That's a good point. That's something that I hadn't even thought of is buyers, looking at a house, moving in, and then realizing, oh, my furniture might not fit. What do I buy? What colors do I paint these walls?
And a lot of people just need a little bit of help and suggestion. I've even taken trips with homeowners who have just purchased a brand new house and just helped them shop, just giving them
Right.
suggestions of things based on their taste that paired well together. And just little things can make a big difference in making that house your home.
So if somebody wanted to contact you, how would they do that?
You can contact us either by email, which is Mandy, Mandy, at ready4display.com, or you can contact me by phone at 636-262-1413.
Thank you. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about your business or your profession that I didn't ask you?
You know what, Phil? You asked some great questions, and I'm really excited to get out and help all of your clients. But also, if someone just has a question about home decorating or just maybe advice, I'm happy to answer those questions. I want to build relationships with people for a lifetime and not simply out there to just help them at a moment's notice. Call me with questions. I'm happy to give my decorating advice. That's where my passion is.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Mandy.
Thanks, Phil. It was a pleasure.